Canada's Summer Macintosh wins 2 gold medals in 2 days at the World Swimming Championships in Singapore. We're getting reaction from the local swimming community.
A multi-day heat event. It continues to grip the GTA and beyond with 60-plus hours of the humidex over 40. We're out talking to people about these sizzling conditions.
And we are live in the Distillery District tonight, where Blue Rodeo is celebrating 40 years with a free acoustic set on the stage. This is a live shot of that performance. We'll have more coming up.
This is Live at 5. Good evening. I'm Bakari Savage.
And I'm Lena Latafat. Thanks so much for joining us, and welcome to Live at 5. Toronto swimming sensation Summer Macintosh has captured another gold medal at the World Championships in Singapore.
And you know what? There are still more races to come. For more on her latest victory at the event, let's go live to CP24's Melissa Duggan. Melissa.
Yeah, we've got a hometown swimming hero to cheer for right now. Summer Macintosh doing her thing. I'm outside the Etobicoke Swim Club. This is where a younger swimmer, Macintosh, used to swim. She's 18 years old right now, though, of course, so still very young. And we are talking about her 2 gold medal wins so far at the World Aquatics Championship. Today, she won a gold. Yesterday, she won a gold. Let's talk about the one that she got today, the latest medal that she's picking up. She finished at a time of 2 minutes, 6.69 seconds in the 200-meter individual medley, just shy of the world record that she set herself just last month. And there was another Canadian who also picked up some hardware in that. Marie-Sophie Harvey of Trois-Rivières, Quebec, took bronze, finishing behind American Alex Walsh. And there's still more coming up for Summer Macintosh. Winning 2 gold medals already, she's hoping for 5. If that happens, she'll be the first female competitor to ever pick up those 5. So what's next for her? She's got the 200-meter butterfly with the semifinals that's set for Wednesday, the final happening on Thursday, and then the 800-meter freestyle Saturday before finishing up with the 400-meter individual medley on Sunday. I'm exhausted just by her reading that out, but she is swimming her heart out to end first in all those 3 that she still has coming up. And certainly lots of Canadians are cheering for her, including the CEO of Swim Ontario. Here's what he's telling us.
We say the 200 butterflies next, but there's 3 races. There's the prelims, there's the semifinal, and then the final. So 3 200s before the 800 freestyle. And then she has to do the 800 freestyle twice. And then on to the 400 IM. Unfortunately, she only has to do that twice. So lots of racing. So I think the 800 is going to be potentially will be the toughest event up against Katie Ledecky, who owns that race. But Summer has definitely thrown down a time this past June, almost touching on the Katie Ledecky's world record. So it will be something else.
Summer Macintosh picking up her first gold medal in this competition in the 400-meter freestyle, and she beat out her U.S. rival we heard about right there, Katie Ledecky, for that. By the way, the only other person to win 5 medals at this competition, Michael Phelps. You may have heard of him before. So Summer Macintosh going for those 5. Back to you guys.
All right. Melissa Duggan reporting live with the very latest. Thanks, Melissa. It's now 5:03, 33 degrees out there. Feeling more like 40, though. Let's get a check on that drive home with Heather Seaman.
Hi there, guys. Well, it's a busy drive for your commute home this afternoon. We're seeing the typical volume, the usual problem spots. We did have a crash here, 401 westbound collectors at Kennedy. That's cleared, all lanes reopened, but you can see the volume through that stretch. Getting word of a stall, westbound collectors at Brimley, not seeing it on the camera, so that could be cleared as well. Again, that volume eastbound from approaching the 427, that continues to pass Islington. Northbound Don Valley Parkway, that is jamming up from Millwood to north of Lawrence. And then once you get to the Gardner, we have a lot of volume in town. I want to mention it's heavy westbound Gardner from Jarvis to west of Bathurst. We're looking at South Kingsway. That volume really picks up from Parkside to west of South Kingsway. Off the major routes, all lanes blocked with a stall. Queen Street just east of University. That's it. Back to you.
This CP24 traffic report is brought to you by 407 ETR. Enjoy the journey with a stress-free commute.
All right, Heather, thanks so much. Let's get to that prolonged heat warning now. It remains in place for the city and parts of the GTA, currently feeling like 40 out there with the humidity.
Okay, let's check in live with CP24's Andrew Brennan, who is still at Marie Curtis Park. Andrew, how are you handling the heat? I see the shirt is now unbuttoned.
I love how you're keeping track of what clothes are where and where they're not, Kari, which I, to be fair, have no problem with. I just wanted to emphasize this for the viewers at home, that if anyone is keeping track of what Andrew wears, it's Bakari. But anyway, thank you. I always appreciate you looking out. Now I'm going to put these on so I can look out on yonder horizon and see, well, a lot of children and those dastardly Canadian geese. Yes, you know what you've done. By that, I mean they chase after you for no apparent reason, but they're having fun too. So not a lot of people around where we are right now, so I can't just go randomly bother them and see how they're doing, but I have two surprises. The first one is going to take about 25 seconds to get to, so roll the clip, please.
I love it, especially when now you can swim, the beach is open. Amazing.
If you're on the beach, it's never too hot.
Try to stay in the shade, try to drink lots more water, stay in when it's really, really hot.
I just go earlier in the morning. Yeah. And then I'll go home and work in my basement, which is the coolest room in the house.
All right, I'm just going to go. It doesn't matter, I guess. But do it at the end, because if it bubbles up.
We're back, right? Okay, good. So, as you can see, I went to the dollar store and I bought a dollar store super soaker. So, like me, it's filled with sand because it's really sandy here. And also, I like dinosaurs. So, we got the dinosaur. And, well, you don't perform well under pressure, do you? Okay, we're trying one more time. Net. I just hit Tom, the cameraman. Thank you, Tom, for putting up with this. So, that never happened. Back to you. Nothing happened here. Nothing to talk about at all.
Beating the heat, I gotta say, very creative.
All right, CP24's Andrew Brennan and Tommy joining us live from Marie Curtis Beach. Thanks a lot. Okay, well, one man, he's in critical condition in hospital. Another's under arrest. This is after a stabbing near the Junction.
Yeah, police were called to the St. Clair and Runnymede Road area shortly before 3:30 this morning for reports of a person lying in the road. It was initially thought the victim had been hit by a vehicle, but officers found he was suffering from multiple stab wounds. He was rushed to hospital in critical condition, and a man in his 40s has been taken into custody.
You can imagine that this is a very serious crime, and we're interviewing witnesses, victims, we're reviewing video evidence, so it's far too early for me to speculate as to the nature of, what was said, and we'll leave that up to the investigators. But I have to say, it's suffice to say that there is no danger to the public.
And police say that anyone who has information but you want to remain anonymous, just call Crime Stoppers.
Well, Hamilton police, they're identifying the victim of a deadly shooting over the weekend. It happened in Dundas.
Investigators say that 25-year-old Zachary Schumann was found. He had a gunshot wound. This is in the area of Governor's Road and Ogilvie Street. It was around 5 o'clock yesterday evening. So he was pronounced dead at the scene. No motive for the shooting has been released just yet.
A blue Ford Edge was spotted leaving the scene. Police say they've determined the victim was involved in some kind of interaction with the driver in the parking lot of a nearby Metro prior to the shooting. Anybody with information is asked to contact investigators. Police are also trying to locate a woman they believe may be a potential witness.
We also believe that there was a female witness who was in the area when the shooting occurred. She's described as having shoulder-length brown hair and wearing either orange or red shorts. We ask that she please come forward and speak with investigators.
And police are also urging anyone with dash cam or security video from the area right around 5 o'clock yesterday evening, check it and contact them for anything that you find suspicious.
Also making news this hour, an arrest warrant has been issued for a Hamilton man in an assault in East Shore.
Yeah, Toronto police are looking for 28-year-old Christian Sander. This is in connection with an incident near Pape and Gamble last night. So Sander allegedly pulled out a machete, assaulted a person. This is after waiting for them to come back home. So police say he then drove off in a silver BMW. Now he's facing charges of possession of a weapon, assault with a weapon, and aggravated assault.
A driver has been arrested for allegedly leading police on 2 separate chases in York region earlier this month.
More debris starting to come from the and loses, I believe, the front driver's tire. It rolls across the road and over into the fast lane. Now oncoming traffic.
Okay, York police, they're sharing footage of the driver driving erratically, running red lights, swerving into oncoming traffic after police used a spike strip to pop their tires. Well, they began following. This is on the night of July 18th after an officer recognized them from an interaction 8 days prior. That's when a driver fled police. Eventually, officers boxed in the vehicle in Aurora and pulled the driver out. So 21-year-old Dakota Drury of North Bay was taken into custody. He's facing impaired driving and weapons charges.
It's 5:10, 33 degrees, and you're watching Live at 5 on Toronto's Breaking News, CP24.
Well, the weekend is back on stage here in Toronto tonight. We're going to tee up what fans can expect. That's just ahead. And the weekend returns to Rogers Centre for a second hometown concert tonight.
The Grammy and Juno award-winning singer performed the first of 4 shows in Toronto last night as part of his After Hours Till Dawn tour. Last week, The Weeknd was awarded a key to the city, and to mark the occasion, he announced he'd be donating to the Boys and Girls Club of West Scarborough and his former high school, Birchmount Park Collegiate, to help create safe spaces for young people. The Weeknd will also perform at Rogers Centre on August 7th and 8th.
Well, members of Blue Rodeo, they're celebrating 4 decades of making music together with a free performance happening in Toronto today.
Yeah, right now. For more on the show by the iconic Canadian rockers, let's go live to CP24's Beatrice Faisman in the Distillery District. That performance underway, Beatrice.
Lena Bakari, the show just finished here at the Distillery District just a few seconds ago. About a 40-minute performance by Jim Cuddy, Greg Keeler, entertaining the dozens of fans. It really got quite a show. Keep in mind, a free show nonetheless here at the Distillery District. It's all in celebration of 40 years that this band has been together. They got together back in 1984, been writing music, performing songs now for 40 years, and this comes ahead of a fall tour that the band is putting together that's going to take them from coast to coast, kicking off in Calgary and then ending right here in Toronto at the start of 2026. So much to the delight of these fans, they got a great performance, and I asked some of these fans, what brought you out here today? Why do you like Blue Rodeo so much? And I heard time and time again, they are just classic Canadiana. Listen.
I think that they've lasted 40 years and we want to still come and see them. I think that they've got staying power and great Canadian bands. I love them.
He lives on the Danforth. He's been around a long time and they play great music. They always do a great show.
No one has a voice like Jim Cuddy. I mean, I don't know if he wants me to say this, but I think he's 71 years old. And his voice is still so beautiful and clear.
I've seen them twice. It's a great band. I love them. And I was walking my dog, so it's a bonus performance.
And on a day when it feels about 100 degrees out here, I mean, look, even this beer can is sweating. Lena and Bakari, Blue Rodeo, 40th anniversary, a partnership with Mill Street Brewery, which is, of course, here in the Distillery District. You can pick up some of these brand new lagers over at Mill Street, but all in celebration of, I guess, 2 things very Canadian: ice cold beer and Blue Rodeo. Back to you guys.
Love that. All right, Beatrice Faisman reporting live from the Distillery District tonight. Thanks, B. It is 5:15, 33 degrees. You're watching Live at 5.
The Premier making more comments today about asylum seekers in this province. We're going to explain next.
Welcome back. Premier Doug Ford is calling for more autonomy over issuing work permits to asylum seekers.
Yeah, today, Ford walked back a pledge that he made last week at the Premier's meeting in Muskoka. This is where he said Ontario would issue its own permits, but also made a point of saying asylum claimants, they need to be working if they're healthy. Now, he says that the federal government is taking too long to issue the permits, but Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada says that work permits are usually issued within 45 days.
But these people have to get off the system because it's costing the taxpayers too much money. We need them getting out there and we need them working. Now, if they don't get through their screening process, they need to go back and go through the process of immigration. But we can't sustain this hit. People are coming here at this pace, and are they real asylum seekers or not? These are the answers we need from the federal government.
Quebec gets complete autonomy. Ontario now, today, addresses 52% of our international commitments around asylum are processed, and those individuals are in Ontario today. 52%. This isn't an issue equitably felt from Newfoundland to BC. This is an issue unique to Ontario and Quebec, and we would like the financial support.
Ford says Ottawa issued 70,000 work permits to asylum claimants in Ontario last year, 20,000 permits short of what is needed.
Well, a looming tariff deadline is approaching for U.S. trading partners, including Canada.
With just 4 days left until Donald Trump's August 1st deadline for deals, Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc is set to return to Washington this week for more trade talks. LeBlanc spent most of last week in the U.S. Capitol meeting with Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. Last week, Trump indicated there was no deal with Ottawa, saying, quote, Canada could be one where they'll just pay tariffs. It's not really a negotiation. Well, Prime Minister Mark Carney was asked about the trade talks with the U.S. today and says that complex negotiations are continuing.
See with the various trade deals that have been agreed by other jurisdictions, European Union yesterday, Japan before, Indonesia, etc., the United Kingdom, that there are many aspects to these negotiations. We're engaged in them, but the assurance for Canadian business, for Canadians, is we will only sign a deal that's the right deal, that's a good deal for Canada. We're representing Canada. We're standing up for Canada. The United States and Canada can do many good things together. We have done that in the past. We can do more in the future, but on fair terms for our country.
Premier Doug Ford commented on the deadline at Queen's Park today. This is where he continued to criticize U.S. President Trump's tariff campaign.
Well, I'm never confident with President Trump. I'm confident with Prime Minister Carney. I know he's going to do his very best to get a deal, but I don't trust President Trump. He'll say one thing one day and say something else in the news the next day. We want a fair and free trade. But if he wants to attack our steel industry, our aluminum industry, other industries, we need to hit him back.
The Trump administration is holding talks with two countries today. Trump's meeting with UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer in Scotland. The White House says the pair will redefine a trade deal outline they signed last month. Now, European Union countries are considering whether to approve a framework Trump and the EU Commission president unveiled yesterday. Meanwhile, the U.S. Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, he's in Sweden for trade talks with Chinese officials today. The U.S. and China have an outline for an agreement and a goal of finalizing a deal by August 12th. CTV News political commentator Scott Reed says he's not optimistic that Ottawa and Washington will strike a trade deal before the deadline.
There doesn't feel like there's much momentum. I mean, obviously, we saw President Trump is in Europe. He secured the deal with the EU. He's had some deals with Asia. He himself said it's simply not his priority at this time. He wants to focus on those jurisdictions. He has leverage in terms of the talks with Canada because he is securing deals with others, insofar as he doesn't need a deal with us, his largest trading partner, because he is securing large scale trading deals. So I wouldn't bet an American or a Canadian dollar that we will see a cold, hard deal that suits our interests by August 1st.
And Prime Minister Mark Carney has previously said that his government will only accept the best deal for Canada, but that an agreement that is free of tariffs that may not be possible.
Well, Federal Industry Minister Mélanie Joly was in Sault Ste. Marie this morning to visit workers at the Algoma steel mill.
The U.S. has already imposed a 50% tariff on Canadian steel and aluminum. So earlier this month, Prime Minister Mark Carney announced new measures to bolster Canada's steel industry by restricting and reducing foreign steel imports.
It is 5:23, 33 degrees out there, and you're watching Live at 5.
All right, the Blue Jays looking to bounce back as they begin a series in Baltimore. More on their stretch against the Orioles coming up. And the Blue Jays continue their road trip in Baltimore today. This is after winning yet another series.
Fastball hit to right center, hit well, and it's gone.
The Jays were looking to sweep the Tigers in Detroit yesterday, but the Tigers jumped out to a 3-0 lead with a homer in the third inning. The Tigers then added 7 runs in the 8th inning on their way to a 10-4 win. So the Jays, they're going to have to settle for a 3-1 series win instead. Chris Bassett will get the start for the Jays when they open a 4-game set in Baltimore tonight.
Okay, Jason Momoa is set to star in a new series on Apple TV+. E-Talk got the chance to sit down with him for an exclusive interview. This happened in Hawaii.
Tell me of the outside world.
It's strange. The pale skin honors no gods of land.
Chief of War looks at into the unification of the Hawaiian Islands in the late 1700s. Prior to colonization, told from the indigenous perspective. Momoa plays a warrior chief who leaves the islands as the most famous Hawaiian in the world before returning to fight in a war.
Giving your people something incredible to celebrate. They're going to see representation and hear their beautiful language. What does that do for you?
I really don't even know the level of what's going to happen. I mean, literally, we're at a countdown of maybe like 6 hours now to hands down the biggest moment in my career, which is going to be in front of 3,000 Polynesian, family and friends, people I've been with since I was 19, like makeup artists, transport drivers, grips.
Ooh, they got stories.
I don't know how powerful this is going to be. It was very powerful to me, but being a little kid, you want to see those things. Yeah. I want to last the Mohicans. I'm like, I'm Native, and that's what I can identify with.
And Chief of War premieres on Apple TV Plus August 1st.
This is Live at 5. It's 5:27, 33 degrees out there. Still to come.
We are keeping tabs on how Torontonians are keeping cool in the midst of this latest multi-day heat event. Humidex values into the 40s. The very latest coming up. A man's in life-threatening condition. This is after he was found lying on the roadway near the Junction after an early morning stabbing. We have new details tonight. A live update from the scene. That's coming up in moments.
A multi-day heat event continues to grip the GTA and beyond with 60-plus hours of the humidex over 40. We're out talking to people about these sizzling conditions.
And speaking of sizzling, Canada's Summer Macintosh wins 2 gold medals in 2 days at the World Swimming Championships in Singapore. We're getting reaction from the local swimming community.
You're watching Live at 5. Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Lena Latifat.
I'm Bakari Savage. We're going to start with this, a warning to viewers because some may find video in this next story disturbing.
Yeah, a man is fighting for his life in hospital, and a suspect is in custody following a stabbing early this morning near the city's Junction neighborhood. CTV Toronto's Janice Golding joins us live with more on this investigation. Janice.
Hi, Lena. Well, we're standing by here at Hagar Avenue near St. Clair Avenue, and I can tell you that Forensic Identification Services vehicles have just arrived on location. They are looking into a scene here on St. Clair where a man was stabbed overnight. Now, we did obtain some surveillance video that you referred to earlier, and you can see in it a man in his 50s holding his left side, coming down Hagar, walking towards St. Clair Avenue. He crosses 4 lanes of traffic. He's hobbling and limping as he clenches his left hip, and he's leaving a trail of blood in his wake. Another surveillance video we saw watched him going eastbound on St. Clair toward an auto body shop we are told he owns. And in fact, you can see a puddle of blood in front of that auto body shop. About a few minutes later, he comes back outside, walks into the middle of the crosswalk and collapses, and then emergency service workers come to the scene, and he is taken to hospital in life-threatening condition. Now, we are told that this man is 55 years old, and we actually spoke to a woman who identified herself as the victim's wife. She tells us that she was very worried about him last night. She kept trying to call him starting around midnight when he did not come home from work, but she was unable to reach him. So when she arrived here this morning, she was very, very upset. We asked her if she had any idea as to why this might have happened to him. She told CTV News that she had no clue. She did not know, but she had seen some surveillance videos that her neighbors had showed her, and she was very, very distraught. We have more now from area residents.
Just saw the lights from the police, and obviously I got a little scared.
I saw police is here. After I heard some people say some people use live.
The whole street was blocked for over 5 hours.
And did you wonder what was going on?
Oh, yeah, I did. And I actually went up to them and they didn't tell me, they didn't give me any update.
Now, Toronto police say that they are looking into what kind of a relationship the victim may have had with the suspect. The man in his mid-40s has been arrested. That's it from us here on scene. Now back to you, Lena and Bakari.
Okay, CTV's Janice Golding, thank you. Hamilton police are identifying the victim of a deadly shooting over the weekend in Dundas.
Investigators say 25-year-old Zachary Schumann was found with a gunshot wound in the Governor's Road area around 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon. He was pronounced dead at the scene. No motive for the shooting has been released yet.
But a blue Ford Edge was spotted leaving the scene. You see it right here. Police say they've determined that the victim was involved in some kind of interaction with the driver in the parking lot of a nearby Metro. This is prior to the shooting. Anyone with information about the vehicle or the driver, you're being asked to contact investigators. Now, police are also trying to locate a woman that they believe may be a potential witness.
Shoulder-length brown hair, described as about 5'5", and wearing either red or orange shorts. We would like to speak with this woman. Right now, she is believed to be a witness in the investigation. We don't believe that she's involved.
And police are also urging anybody with dash cam or security footage from the area at the time of the shooting to check their footage or anything suspicious.
Well, York Regional Police, they've charged a doctor with sexual assault.
Police say 62-year-old Saber Abdelmalak is facing 2 counts of sexual assault in connection with 2 alleged incidents at a medical clinic in Markham. Police say a patient reported being touched in a sexual manner during an appointment on July 7th. Police also say the same patient told investigators that a similar incident allegedly took place in 2023. Police say they believe there may be other alleged victims, and they're urging anybody with information to get in touch.
On July 7th, we received a report from a victim who said she attended the medical clinic, which is on Markham Road in Markham, for an appointment. And while there, she said the suspect touched her in a sexual manner. She left, visit quite upset, and reported it immediately to police. Then through speaking with the victim, she recalled an earlier incident back in November 2023 when a similar incident happened. And I'm sure it's confusing, and she believed it was part of a legitimate medical procedure.
Abdelmalak is currently facing 2 counts of sexual assault.
Well, a driver has been arrested for allegedly leading police on 2 separate chases in York Region earlier this month. Take a look.
More debris starting to come from and loses, I believe, the front driver's tire. It rolls across the road and over into the fast lane. Now oncoming traffic.
Yeah, York police sharing footage of the driver driving erratically, running red lights, swerving into oncoming traffic. This after police used a spike strip to pop the tires. They began following them the night of July 18th. This is after an officer recognized them from an interaction 8 days prior. That's when a driver fled police. So eventually, officers boxed in the vehicle in Aurora. They pulled out the driver. 21-year-old Dakota Drury of North Bay was taken into custody. He's facing impaired driving and weapons charges.
A new report suggests the pace of auto theft is slowing in Canada. The number of vehicles reported stolen nationally fell about 19% in the first half of 2025 compared to the same period last year. This is according to Equite Association. It says roughly 23,000 vehicles reported stolen during the first 6 months of the year. That decline was especially pronounced right here in Ontario, where an almost 26% drop was recorded. The association is giving the credit to greater public awareness, as well as government and law enforcement efforts aimed at cracking down on car thieves.
Well, not to follow it with this, but let's get a check on the commute with CP24's traffic specialist, Heather Seaman. Heather.
Hi there, Lena and Bakari. Not aware of any serious crashes on the 400 series highways. We do have a crash in town. I'll get to that in a moment. Again, we're dealing with a lot of volume on the 401 eastbound from approaching the 427 to past Islington, and then again from the 400 to past Allen Road. No crashes along that stretch. Again, it's just volume. The 404 southbound DVP combination, that is really jamming up from approaching Finch to south of the 401. Once you get to the Don Valley Parkway, had word of a stalled vehicle just beyond Don Mills. It was blocking the right lane. Out of camera view right now, but most of the volume on the Don Valley Parkway northbound is from Millwood to north of Lawrence. So those issues at Don Mills is affecting the drive. Heading to the westbound Gardner. In town, I want to mention westbound from York Street to west of Bathurst, seeing a lot of volume there. It continues off and on to past Parkside. We're looking at South Kingsway where the volume continues there. Off the major routes, a crash is blocking two left lanes eastbound in the area of York Mills and Les Mill Road. That's it. Back to you.
All right, Heather, thanks so much. Well, heads up for commuters this afternoon. If you're not in your car, but you're taking Up Express, trains, they're not running between Union and Pearson Airport.
And a post on social media, Pearson Airport says that trains are going to be unavailable until 6 p.m. due to a switch issue impacting operations. So shuttle buses are operating. Passengers can utilize GO Transit at Terminal 1 ground level.
All right, let's get to that prolonged heat warning now. It remains in place for the city and parts of the GTA. Still feeling like 40 out there. It is sticky and at times uncomfortable.
Yeah, so let's check back in with CP24's Andrew Brennan, who joins us live from Marie Curtis Park. Andrew, you had a super soaker, and it gets the job done, right?
Well, I'm just trying to live my best life, Bakari. You may wonder, why is our reporter Andrew, who's normally so clean, wet at the water? Well, he's at a beach. And why is he wet? I have a friend who's helping me. Now, for anyone in the newsroom I've ever upset, you're welcome. This is payback. Does anyone ever remember from The Lion King when Simba tries, what's it called? Those grubs for the first time? He says slimy yet satisfying. And if I was going to give a description for me right now, that's about it. So, thank you very much. I can't see anything anymore. Hold on, one more. Thank you. All right, so the lesson is, if you have a chance, go down to the beach. It does help during a heat wave. The other thing to bear in mind for those that do have challenges breathing, respiratory issues, those living their golden hours, and people that also are developmentally challenged, there are times where this comes into play a lot more for kids like that. And just to bear in mind for everyone out there, it's always nice to be a friend, especially if they want to splash you, but also for the other people that need some help. It's always good to check in on them. Don't forget that during heat waves, we don't actually have a coroner that counts the amount of heat-related deaths, but there are a substantial amount the longer a heat wave goes on. The more days, the longer, the worse it gets. So as much as I love to have fun at the beach, I just want people to remember that too. Little bit of news you can use. Okay, I got a water gun fight to win. Back to you both.
24 is Andrew Brennan. Thanks a lot, Andrew. It's 5:41, 33 degrees. This is Live at 5.
Well, Blue Rodeo marking a milestone with a free show in the city today. We're going to have more with CP24's Beatrice Faisman in the Distillery District next. Welcome back. Members of Blue Rodeo are celebrating a really special milestone. 4 decades of making music together with a free performance in Toronto today.
And for more on the iconic show by the iconic Canadian rockers, let's go live to CP24's Beatrice Faisman in the Distillery District. Beatrice.
Of lead singer Jim Cuddy meeting and greeting some of these fans who came out here this afternoon to enjoy this free Blue Rodeo show. They played about 6 songs here, about a 40-minute set on stage right here in the square, as people really just got to enjoy it. It was some diehard fans, some people who have told me they've been watching him and listening to Blue Rodeo ever since they started back in 1984. They've been playing music ever since, and now they're celebrating the 40th anniversary of singing, making music, and really touring the country. Yes, they started here in Toronto, but they are now classic Canadiana. In fact, the fall tour begins in October out in Alberta, returns back to Toronto at the start of next year. But here's what some of the fans I was talking to told me earlier, Lena and Bakari, about why they wanted to come out here this afternoon.
Although I'm a fan, I haven't actually seen them live all these years, and I keep hearing them on the radio again and again. I heard on the radio that they were here. We rode our bikes down, got here in half an hour from the Danforth, and I'm so excited to see them live.
They have great longevity, I don't know if that's a word, and they just got great music.
I think for the most part, they've led in many ways in multiple disciplines, because it's not just sort of contemporary, it's a bit of country, it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So they've been able to find a lot of different audiences. And I mean, just listen to Jim Cuddy's voice. It's beautiful.
And I mean, this is the man behind the sound of Blue Rodeo, as we're watching him meeting and greeting fans right here in the Distillery District. Let me see if I can sneak in here and get a quick word with him as he's taking photos with some fans. Jim, I'm sorry to interrupt. We're just live on CP24. What does it mean to be here to play a show for all these fans who just, tell me that they love the sound of your voice? That's what you were the big draw for them.
The reason that Blue Rodeo has lasted so long is because of the people. It's because the people are loyal to us. I mean, we work hard to do good shows and to go where everybody lives, but it's because the audiences in Canada are loyal. So we're lucky. I feel grateful.
To have loyal fans means you got to be good for 40 years. What do you think the strength of Blue Rodeo has been all these years?
I think that we started with pretty humble aspirations. We just wanted to be good musicians, and we have extraordinary musicians in the band. Greg and I just naturally sing well together. We're just lucky, and we work hard pushing each other to write better songs. So you just have to try to be as good as you can.
What can the fans expect on the fall tour? I know it launches in October in Alberta, goes coast to coast, ends here in Toronto. What kind of treats are the fans in store for?
Well, we're trying to bring songs that we haven't played in a long time and give them a new life. So I think they're going to hear songs from yesteryear that are going to be interestingly reimagined.
Yeah, thanks so much. Congratulations on 40 years. Thanks you. I'll let Jim get back to meeting some of these fans who've been waiting out here in this blistering sun and heat. Lena and Bakari, since really 4 o'clock, since they started setting up the stage and doing some of the rehearsals and setups for the band. But this man's what really Blue Rodeo is all about, the heart of Blue Rodeo, something so ingrained, a band so ingrained in Canadian culture. And of course, their new beer, marking the 40th anniversary of Blue Rodeo, also in partnership with Mill Street, launching right here today. Back to you.
All right, Beatrice Faisman live with Jim Cuddy as Blue Rodeo celebrates 4 decades of making music. What a special milestone and great conversation. Beatrice, thanks so much. 547, 33 degrees. You're watching Live at 5.
And coming up, remembering Terry Fox while introducing his incredible story to the next generation. More on a brand new book next. A Toronto swimming sensation, Summer Macintosh, has captured another gold medal at the World Championships in Singapore.
And there are still more races to come. For more on her latest victory at the event, let's go live to CP24's Melissa Duggan. And you've been speaking with the local swimming community about this, Melissa.
Yeah, a lot of support for Summer Macintosh. This is her season. Of course, the 18-year-old from Toronto doing her thing in Singapore right now, already picking up 2 gold medals. She's going for 5, something that no other woman has done before at the World Aquatics Championship. Where I am right now, outside of the Etobicoke Swim Club, this is where she practiced when she was young, of course, still very young at 18 years old. Let's talk about her latest win. That was in the 200-meter individual medley happening today in Singapore, finishing at a time of 2 minutes, 6.69 seconds. That is just off of the world record that she just happened to set herself last month. She beat out Mary-Sophie Harvey. She's of Trois-Rivières, Quebec, but that meant that there were 2 Canadians picking up medals in this event today. Coming in second, American Alex Walsh. There is a busy schedule for Macintosh going forward in Singapore. Next up, she's got the 200-meter butterfly. Semifinals are set for Wednesday, and then on Thursday, the final is going to happen in that event. Then the 800-meter freestyle is going down Saturday before finishing up with the 400-meter individual medley on Sunday. We're getting some reaction today from the CEO of Swim Ontario about Summer Macintosh, her performance, her future, her influence on the swim world. Here he is.
She's an ambassador to sport, to any sport, but definitely for swimming. And I think, young kids, when we have she's at a home meet, well, I'll call it in Toronto or around the country, young kids are just flocking to get her autograph or to say hello, to get something signed, to get maybe sometimes she'll throw a medal up into the stands and so on and so forth. So, they're glued. They're just so excited. They want to be, they love the sport, and they want to be like Summer because she loves the sport.
By the way, the only other athlete to pick up 5 gold medals at the World Swimming Championship was famed Olympian Michael Phelps. That first gold, by the way, that Summer Macintosh picked up, that happened yesterday in the 400-meter freestyle. We're certainly going to be watching her for the rest of the week. Bakari and Lena, back to you.
All right, very exciting. CP24's Melissa Duggan, thanks a lot. Well, a special event was held at Scarborough Civic Center this afternoon to mark the release of a new book honoring Terry Fox.
As part of the 45th anniversary of the Terry Fox Marathon, a new picture book titled T is for Terry, an ABC of Courage is out, and the book teaches how the loss of Terry's leg became the spark for his mission to help others. The book's author, Denise Diaz, and Terry Fox's niece joined us earlier in studio to talk about introducing Terry's story to the next generation.
The idea for the book came about because we really wanted to introduce young readers and a new generation to Terry's story. Mm-hmm. So it's a way to learn the alphabet, but also learn about Terry's life and Terry's legacy and Terry's story through each letter of the alphabet.
Well, I feel really honored to be able to continue his legacy. You know, growing up, I knew kind of 2 different types of Terry. Right. Terry never wanted to be considered a hero, and my family did a really great job honoring that. So I learned of Terry the son and the brother, and then later on, I gained that outside perspective and learned of Terry as a hero. And now I have my own daughter who is 3. So the family's been wanting a book for this age group for a very long time, so we're very excited.
Really love the book. I love that it's an alphabet book, so it reaches younger readers. So you can reach those readers like from birth all the way up through to actually this one's age.
I think it's a really good book. I'm reading it in French right now, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm learning a lot of new stuff. I didn't know that it was so international, that Terry Fox touched so many people.
And T is for Terry, an ABC of Courage, is available now in both English and French, and proceeds from the book support the Terry Fox Foundation.
It's now 5:55, 33 degrees out there. You're watching Live at 5.
And coming up, we're going to introduce you to a $60 million winner from Toronto and what this 26-year-old plans to do with his newfound fortune. A 26-year-old Toronto man is millions of dollars richer after winning the Lotto 649 Gold Ball jackpot.
When I logged in and saw the 60 million number, I couldn't believe it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I see it. The big win? 60 million?
I was just staring at it in shock. My hand, my feet all went numb.
I love that audio recording. You can hear how genuinely shocked he is. Bo Chang Mei winning $60 million from the May 7th draw. He found out while he was at work when he got the call from an OLG spokesperson telling him to check his email. He says the first people he told were his parents, letting them know they could retire. Bo Chang says he has some plans for the new fortune, including continuing his education, traveling, and buying a house in Toronto. $60 million. That's incredible.
Fantastic. It's 5:59, 33 degrees. This is Toronto's breaking news, CP24.
We are still dealing with a prolonged heat wave right here in the GTA, currently feeling like 40 out there. So remember to stay cool and stay hydrated. Thanks so much for watching. CTV News at 6 is next.